Here we go. I salute you. Because here we go, going down with the ship. Crypto crashing yet again, it seems. Bitcoin taking a plunge here, starting off June at 74,000, now trading sub 70,000, hitting about 67.4 just minutes ago. And we are now live, hoping that our presence will scare those bears away and will stop the bleeding. You'd be surprised how often over the last 7 years when we've gone live has the move reversed, turned around, and that's what we're praying for. Pray harder. Put your hands together. We need all the thoughts and all of the prayers today because, my Lord, it just keeps dumping. Just when you think it's done dumping, it's not done dumping. Bitcoin just decimating levels below us. This isn't our first rodeo. We've gone through bear markets here. Let's start off this way, guys. It's going to be okay. You're going to be all right. If you've been through these cycles, this is honestly par for the course. This is maybe even kind of tame. It's a little gentle. However, we are facing realistically further downside. Well, today, hopefully the low is in and we'll have a little bit of sideways and chill time. Realistically, as I've been saying week after week, as long as we are below the 200-day moving average, we're looking for lower lows. We're looking for more downside. Retaking that level and we can start looking up and getting bullish again. That number sits at just about 80,000, 79.2, 79.3. Currently, prices running away from it, but that's only a 15, 16% move. And for Bitcoin, that's not really crazy. That could happen in one day, or that could take months, of course. As we've been following, Bitcoin looking like it's just doing what everyone expects it to do, what everyone's been saying it was going to do, which leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Bitcoin, in the majority of the time I followed it, has been very contrarian and not really enjoyed being told what to do or when to do it, and avoided doing whatever everyone thinks it was doing. But apparently it just wants to sell off, and that's what everyone thinks was gonna happen. Since the fall in February, from 100,000 down to 60K, that low is still intact, and there is still some reason to look for a bounce at a higher level. We're going to look at those numbers and those prices here today. We're going to look at the reasoning, but that hope is honestly pretty thin, pretty short-lived. There's two values that I think have a reason or a rhyme to bounce price, but it really just feels like we are just back at where we were, I don't know, in 2022. We had done something very similar, rejected from the 200. I'll admit these look a little different, but rejected from the 200 after painting some kind of momentum leg, and that shot us down. Here we are again, rejecting from the 200 in a similar fashion after some kind of momentum leg. Virtually identical price action to November into the end of last year, provided Bitcoin does seek lower lows here and continues to move to the downside. It's going to look almost exactly the same. Virtually the exact same price action as Q4 of last year, which is, it just seems too easy. I don't know. Too easy. Dang it, Bitcoin, stop being so easy. I don't like it. Benjamin Cohen predicted this. I think everyone predicted. Like, who didn't predict this? I mean, realistically, I want to know, like, who, at this point in, like, where we are, I am typically the perma bull. I'm usually, in the past, we've been the last people yelling bullish things into the face of bears. Who was really looking, I don't know, for, like, I don't know, to go, who was looking for, like, all-time highs to come back in? That's something that really separates this cycle from the last cycle. In this bear market, as soon as we blew off in October, pretty much everyone has just been looking down. Many people, even early in like the 100Ks, were looking downwards. In previous cycles, I feel like that wasn't the case. There was still a lot of hope, a lot of people thinking that the run wasn't over back in 21. I want to even say as we continued to fall, there were people that remained bullish. It doesn't really feel that way anymore. It feels like it's kind of one-sided. In 2017 into 18, every single bounce, people were thinking that we're going back to all-time highs. Literally, at least I did. I remember many people did. It was like every single test, every time. It's a lower high. We kept thinking it was going to go back, and it doesn't feel that way here. It feels like pretty much everyone is like capitulated. Everyone's given up and is on the downside train, and that's where price action is right now. This is an ugly reversal from the 200-day. It's like a V-shaped top almost. It's a little rounded, but it's virtually a V-shaped top. We have seen almost no bounce since the 200 rejected. Here we are. There is a little bit of good news, maybe. Hopium. We'll remain on the side of anything's possible. There's a little bit of good news. Hold on. Let's throw this on the chart. The 200-week moving average. I'm going to actually put this in like blue or something for whatever reason. 200-week moving average. Oop, the 50,000 200-week moving average, much bigger. Is this stocks fit mindset? No, this is Bitcoin right now, baby. Bitcoin is having a bad day, having a rough day. The 200-week sits below us. This is an untested level. February brought us low, but it didn't actually test the 200-week. Interesting. So much time has passed, and price has traded above this critical moving average. It has actually moved up. At the time in February, it was down around 57,000. Now, let's just throw these on the chart. Values. Now it's 61.6. That's actually, this is an interesting setup here. This is a potential spot to look for a bounce, even if it's a scalp play. If you're full of hopium, I'm yet to hear who wasn't looking down here. If you're one of the people that thinks we're going to all-time highs, though, I don't know, in this quarter or next quarter or maybe even this year, might be a spot you're looking for. Might be a spot for a bounce. The interesting setup here is that the 200-week has moved up significantly. It is now above February's low. So there's an interesting setup here where price can sell off from right now at 67, whatever. It's about 9 or 10% more downside. Price can sell off to that 200-week and test it without breaking February's low. It's honestly unexpected. It can test the moving average at a higher price. It traded lower and didn't test it. Now it has the potential to test it higher. It's a kind of a weird setup. I'm not going to lie. I would not have expected this back in February. It seemed pretty clear that we were going to keep moving. It has taken its time. That low. How long ago is this? 116 days ago. Seems like a lifetime ago. But that is a potential spot to look for a bounce. I don't think that I'm going to go all in on leverage and get super optimistic that we're going to go, flying up into space. But hey, we could see realistically some kind of rally, some kind of bear rally. Maybe we see a failed rally that brings us back to the 50 daily, and we could see a rejection from there, giving us like a lower high. There's many things on the table here. That is some hopium. On top of that hopium, there's another value on this chart that sits really pretty close to the 200-week, and that is a very special trend line in our hearts. That trend line, you can place it yourself. It's not a secret. All you have to do is on Coinbase. It also works on Bitstamp. Whoa. Why is my thingy not working? Hold up. I don't want there to be like breathy noises. There we go. You can go on Coinbase or Bitstamp. July 2017, the 16th of July 2017, this wick low. Connect that all the way over here to the 15th of December 2018. That's the trend. This trend line has served us pretty well, actually better than pretty well. It is a bet, probably a high risk bet, but a potential bet nonetheless that you could see it hold here again. In the last bear market, the FTX cascading liquidation sell-off after how long? 357 days of trading down from the all-time high. The FTX event brought us to this trend line, perfectly to this trend line. You'll actually notice the 2020 COVID crash market Armageddon also brought us to this trend line. It did break it, but it managed to close the weeklies back above. So it held this trend line, though it did intra-week trade below. It held as support in the last bear market, and we have not come back to it. We still haven't come back to it. We're flirting with it now, but we haven't come back to it. It is now on the table. You will see that this trend sits at about 65.2. It is in the realm of that 200-week moving average. It's pretty close. Both of these have, I'll say, like a non-zero chance of having some kind of long play, or at least some kind of reprieve from the sell-off. As long as we're below the 200-day moving average, I'm not looking for all-time highs, but I welcome the idea. It'd be nice. I could use a break from this red. Those are the two major close immediate targets. There is one more that is not only in play, it's actually right now in this moment being tested, and you'll find that from the all-time high. I just got an alert of some kind. From the all-time high of October 25 down to the failed high in January 13th of this year. That trend line came into play back in April, where we tested it, broke it, back tested it, and made higher highs. Bitcoin, for all purposes, looked honestly pretty good. It looked decent on this attempt at the 200-day moving average. It really did. It's unfortunate that it rejected, but it looked good. It had broken the downtrend. It had back tested it. It had held a support, and it went on to make more higher highs and higher lows. It continued the uptrend. Unfortunately, the 200-day had different plans and really reversed course on there. That downtrend, or that down descending trend line, has been tested today, and you'll find that it actually has been broken intraday. It was, what, an hour ago? Hour and 15 minutes ago, we encountered that trend line and broke through. What can happen is through the rest of the day, we could see price close back up above 68.7 and hold as support. And we could then, in the most hopium of senses, pray that that does something. Pray that we move back up to these big daily moving averages and this time break them. I don't think the probability of that is very good, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think that it's so good. It is a shot. It is not nothing. But these are pretty much the things that we have to go on at this point. It's like we have the 200 week. We have this ascending major trend line. Ooh. That has come into play at the last two bear markets at the bottom. And then we have our ascending trend. And that's it. Like on top of that, like what do we have? Not much. We can look at February's low and say, of course, well, we could revisit there. We could see some kind of liquidity sweep, break it, move back up. Sure. That is it's a non-zero chance. But basically, I think until proven otherwise, we're probably looking at this. We're probably looking at the next leg down. Where that will bring us is the $1 jillion question that I wish I had the for sure answer to. I don't. I do not. I can take a look, see the logical places that we might see price bounce at the end of a bear market. The timing, of course. I think this is what I was saying at the beginning of the stream. It's like almost everyone is looking for October, November, like Q4, bear market low to be in, and for every rally to be faded until then. There doesn't seem to be like really any dissent. It doesn't even really seem to be any other ideas. There are people that are just yelling kind of gibberish. I don't know, like yelling super cycle and like, yeah, cool. Like that'd be awesome. I welcome a super cycle. Lows in and we were going to all-time highs now. That'd be awesome. But like, there's nothing on the chart that would suggest that yet. If evidence does appear or things on this chart, let's say we hold the low here today and we go on to retake the 200-day moving average. That would be something where we could say maybe that is happening. But until we have something, I really don't think it makes any sense to be looking at anything other than this falling pattern. I want to hear your guys' opinion. Maybe you have a different take. Yeah, Kick Support says to check your email when you have a moment. Thanks, Kick Support. Okay, I think it's a bot, but I'll reply. I don't know. Wake you up when it hits 45. 45. I mean, this cycle drastically underperformed to the upside. The last bear market underperformed to the downside. But despite the upsides and downsides becoming less volatile or having less drawdown, less upside, this cycle has remained remarkably the same. Our all-time highs were 4 years apart. The only real difference, the only thing that at all really differentiated on the chart for this cycle was the all-time high pre-halving. Certainly that was a mix-up, but other than that, everything was exactly the same. There was really no difference. And if we're going to apply that thought process, we did this yesterday, we can do this a million times, we probably should just look at what has happened before. We can look at it, accept that it won't be exactly the same, and that anything we come up with is just, approximation, but it helps to have a guide. We can say in 2017 to 18, we moved down about 85%, 84%. In 21 into 22, it was about 77%. If you go back farther, you'll find that this diminishing downside pattern has been going on for a long time, if not the entirety of Bitcoin's history. The downsides from the all-time highs into the bear markets have been less brutal. The upsides have been less juicy. But so moving from 77, we should, I think, as people who want to stay in the realm of reality and, safety and logic, look at the same retracement. If it's the exact same, we're looking at 28.7K. So does that mean we're going 28.7K? Probably not. That probably is not going to happen. We admitted that these are guides, and we can almost say that it's more likely that it won't happen the same because it never does. We were likely looking for a value above this. I know that's a spooky number, but likely looking for a value above this. You can maybe apply a formula and say, it's diminishing on this kind of regression or whatever. I don't think that that's super valuable. I don't think that's really the way to go about it. What we can say is it is likely to be less. It's likely to be less. Maybe we're looking in the low 70s. Low 70s gives us roughly like 38K, 40K. It's not a bad spot to look. Not a bad one. With just those things on the chart, I think we can move from there. Use our fib tool. Look for some confluence. Where are these retracements? Where are our major levels? If I could ever snap anything to these now. Oh. That's good enough. Major retracement levels. Almost any move to the upside or downside, we look for the same thing. We accept that it can always be deeper, but we always look for roughly the same thing. Between the 0.5 and the 618. That gives us around that 38K zone. Around that level. I think that that's reasonable. It is reasonable. If everything is playing out the way it's always played out, then why would we not look for the same thing? I don't know. I'm not sure if any other thought process even makes sense to pursue until proven otherwise. Like I said, that invalidation could be relatively easy though, but I won't keep repeating that. Roughly in this zone. Maybe things will be different. Maybe we'll see, like an even shallower retracement. Maybe we don't go down this far. The interesting thing that I will take is that 38,000. I remember talking about this literally back in January of 24 and probably occasionally since then. That 38K would do something very tricky. Something very sneaky. The Bitcoin ETFs, for those of you who weren't following the charts at the time, we saw a rally into the first Bitcoin ETFs. We saw price expand, reach about 50,000, and then on their launch, they moved down. It dropped from 48, 49, down to about 38. Ever since then, Bitcoin has never revisited these lows. It has never traded lower than the ETF's low, meaning all of the assets in ETFs have never experienced being underwater since when? Since a few days after they started. 38,000 brings us just below that wick low, and it puts all of a sudden all holdings on ETFs in the red. Game theory, there should be liquidity there. That should be a very spicy move if it does happen. It's a level of interest. Nothing is guaranteed, but that is a level that I would be interested in buying. And even though the thought of buying at 38,000 seems crazy to me, I mean, I started buying, it was like 2,000 something, now like 38,000. That is a level of interest for me. Where was I going also with this? 38. We may never get there. That of course is on the table. There's always potential for something tricky. And if anything, Bitcoin has been so dependable lately. A lot of people are saying, oh, Benjamin Cohen called everything. Benjamin Cohen is a very intelligent analyst, intelligent guy. Respect the hell out of him. Has some great calls in his life. But a lot of the things, and this is, people kind of confuse at times. Certainly he's had his own unique calls that have been great. But a lot of the things he says is just following like the same things we all have. I don't know, people just tend to listen when he says them. Like, certainly didn't invent, I don't know, the cycle being 4 years from high to high, looking for a low in October or November of this year because it's the midterm election year, but really it's just the year after the all-time high year. These are things that like we've all been talking about. Everybody's been following these things. I forget. I got off on a tangent. Love Benjamin Cohen. I don't even know what I was saying. I don't remember where I was going with that line of thought. I welcome something else to happen. I just need to see it. I need to see something happen. Speaking of that, Bitcoin has not dropped farther, has not broken its low since we started streaming, and you are welcome. We are collectively holding this up. We're holding it up. You don't care about price, BBB? Hell yeah. You have an auto DCA, buys a small one every day. Honestly, there's very little. I don't think that there's a better way to approach Bitcoin than to treat it like a 401k or a Roth by DCA, just buying small amounts over time. I really don't think there's a better way. The lower price goes, the better it is for you. Is it optimal? Like, no, of course not. Buying the exact bottom is optimal, right? But you'd be surprised. Nobody ever does that. Wherever we all think the bottom is, tends not to be the bottom. And just slowly accumulating over time is just the best for your well-being, your mental health, and honestly, just the success rate is the best. It keeps you level. It keeps you not overly invested or overextended. You're not worrying if price drops. You're kind of rooting for it, which is a really unique mindset to be in when you're investing in an asset. To be like, I hope the price goes down. It's really unique. It's very strong. Very strong place to be. So cheers to you, my friend. Stack for your kids? Absolutely, brother. Price agnostic. So we like to be price agnostic here. Like I said, we've been live on YouTube covering Bitcoin for 7 years. We've gone through the entire bear markets, entire bull markets. I like to be price agnostic. Lately, price has been like us agnostic, I feel. It just like, it's been so painful just because nothing has happened. The downside, for me at least at this point, is not scary. The upside sometimes is stressful. But just the nothingness, the bleeding, the just like the loss of interest, the loss of hype, that's what's painful for me. Of course, I'm in a very unique scenario that well, I don't know if any of you are really in the exact same scenario I'm in. I got a lot going, got a lot riding on this, as you may imagine. My net worth, my career, 7 years of my life, I got a lot invested here. I would not recommend that. Being the correct amount invested in something is critical to success. Being overinvested is like playing it on nightmare difficulty. Like, you're making it so much harder on yourself because you're going to be fighting yourself. Speaking of which, here we go. Bitcoin ignoring us being live, now testing its low, breaking it by, I don't know, like $1 at this point. We're going lower than 60K. That does seem to be in the cards. That does seem to be where we're headed. What do you guys think? I should put a poll up. What price does Bitcoin bottom at this bear market? I guess we have to start at 60K. I wish I didn't have to do it, but like, I think we have to start 60. Then what do we do? Like 50, 40. I'll do like 50, 40 to 50. and then 40 to 30, and then like sub 30 under. Here we go. Bouncy, baby. Let's see what you guys think. 3 wallets, 1 hold, 2 trade. Yeah, dude, you're doing it right, BB. Triple B's, you're doing it right, brother. I respect that. Cheers to you. I'm glad you found your way. Cohen says 30 to 50K. That's a huge range. That is a huge range. Nobody knows. I think realistically, yeah, this is like my best guess, right? I'm not even gonna pretend. I'm not gonna pretend to know. Nobody knows. This would be my best guess. There's a lot riding there. Can we trade lower? Absolutely. 30, like 32-ish would be real juicy. I guess, you know, just apply what we know, what we've seen until it breaks. It'll break someday. 36.6 baby. I hope so, Tanzi, for you. If stock market has a crash like COVID, I don't see how Bitcoin can stay above 40. Well, let's realistically, 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐭 realistically, Bitcoin has just not really been correlated with the stock market. Stock market could crash, and of course Bitcoin could go down with it. Probably would, just because, God, that just seems to be the way it goes. But stock market could crash and Bitcoin could go up. I'm not saying that that will happen, but it could. It could, and it's not a huge leap of logic or like denial. Bitcoin has not been correlated. So to think, okay, well, it'll be correlated when it falls, I get that. I feel that. That's in my bones. I feel too close to home. But it isn't, it's not exactly, I'll say, like, the most sound idea or concept. I think more than likely the better answer is if something terrible would happen to the stock market, which eventually it will, Bitcoin is likely to not be correlated. It's likely to just kind of like vaguely be correlated. Likely on the days of big crashes and indices, Bitcoin will probably have big red days those days. But it doesn't, in my mind, put, like, I don't know, numbers on or off the table. I don't think that it's like it'd be like a reason necessarily to like revise numbers or revise targets. I don't think that that makes sense. If they were highly correlated, and Bitcoin and the stock market and indices have been in the past, they've been highly correlated at times in the past, then I think that statement would make more sense, personally. Ethereum's also pooping itself. Did continue a little bit of its gains since yesterday against Bitcoin, but it's giving them back a little. It's heading down now at 1920. That 1750 would be the February low. I mean, that's it's unbalanced here. That's obviously the next place to be looking. Oh, Ethereum. I'm getting alerts now. What else? Getting a bunch of alerts. Crypto is crumbling, my friends. CRV going off 20 cents. Let's see. Can I have a... Hold up here. MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy. All right, buddy. MicroStrategy looks like it's headed back for 100. Let me pull up a blank chart so we can go through a lot of these alerts as they go off. I don't want to lose my good charts. Hell yeah, Triple B. I don't know if you're a YouTube watcher, man, but you are of our mindset. You got your orders. You already have them set. You're ready to go. That's the way to do it, bro. That's the way. I like it. I swear I just opened this. What happened to it? That's the way we do. The best thing. The best setup is to be in a position to embrace big sell-offs. Opportunity, big gains, life-changing money is not made in the bull run. People who jump into something in a bull run, like people jumping into like Micron or SanDisk or whatever is up right now, even the S&P. People jumping into those right now, they're not going to make life-changing money. They've already missed like 1,000%. The people riding the 1,000%, granted, it hasn't really been that long. It wasn't really that long of a hold if it was, you know, the right timing. Those people were in the not so exciting times. Big gains are are built in bear markets. They're built on low prices. You cash them out on high prices, but they're built on low prices. Dude, CRV looks terrible. I guess send CRV lower at this point. That is not a good look. Man, that was already almost at all-time lows. In August, it was at all-time low. October, it sold off to 18 cents. What's really weird for me is that CRV is like, its all-time low is only 10% lower. It's only 10% down. It's at 20 cents. Its all-time low is 18 cents. I feel like, didn't Curve have like some kind of exploits or hacks or something? It feels like all those bridges are falling apart now. Almost as if they were always falling apart. Almost as if like they were all kind of bad ideas. Should we see rug pull to 50K this week? I will say, reasonably Bitcoin looks like it's making the next leg, right? It reasonably looks like this. Just like last time, from November into January, there was a lot of slow, low volatility price action. Days and days and days, weeks and weeks and weeks of nothing. The grinding slowness makes it feel like, you know, like whenever a move happens, it will be slow. That is not how it tends to be. It tends to get us into this like pace or this mindset of like, oh, okay, we've been here for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, even if we keep going down, it will take days and days. Well, that's not really what happened, right? As soon as this high was rejected and it started losing bids, how long did it take to get to the bottom? 8 days. 8 days from 90K to 60K. Not even 8 days, 7 days. From breaking the low in November, the bottom was found like a few days later. These things can be just so slow and get you kind of in that mindset that you're going to have time, and then they can make the move very quickly. And in fact, I want to say that's like typical Bitcoin price action. Nothing happens. All of a sudden you have one big green day, then nothing really happens. And if you missed that one day, you've missed the majority of what's going on here. So could we be at 50K this week? Sure. It's totally possible. I'm not going to put like a time on it. I'm not going to try to estimate like that because it's just a silly practice. Like, there's no way of knowing. There's no way of even guessing. The only thing we can do is go, you know, I'll say from the high rejection to the low was 23 days. So let's do that. Let's take the high rejection, and you can see if we fit it to the wick of May, it already happened. If we fit it to, like, we'll say the last test of the 200-day, it's kind of like cherry picking, but whatever. The cleanest test be like June 6th, right? To reach the bottom. That's not a very, that's just like, it doesn't really fit well either. That would give 4 days, maybe 50K by noon. Damn, Alchemist. Damn, brother. That's crazy. 50K by a half an hour ago. The chart's going to update, and it's going to like change the candles back in time, and we're going to be at like 30K or something. I mean, look at the gradient of this sell-off. It's incredibly steep. Not only is it incredibly steep, it seems like so far that each move is steeper. They're getting steeper. At the 200-day, they were like almost flat. The 200-day rejected. We moved down. Let's use this wick maybe to like May 26th. It's like a 45-degree angle down. The rejection on Monday, the rejection yesterday on this trend line now is like, I don't know, it's like an 80-degree angle down. Wait, 80-degree? 170-degree? I don't know, 150-degree, you get it. They're like, it's like a parabolic fall. It's accelerating. So each move, yes, can happen faster and faster. And that does tend to be how these sell-offs happen, especially the big ones. Like, you try to put a trend line on the hour and like, then you rescale, and it's just going to be like an up and down line almost. Yeah. It's almost a line straight down. That'd be like a nice parabola if we were pumping. An upside down parabola. The worst kind. The worst kind. Let the panic wash over you. Things will be okay. It'll be okay. We got 100 votes here real quick. What are you guys thinking? A third of you say the bottom's it. We can't be that bullish. Get out of here. We can't let them know. We can't let them know. Third of you. Yeah, 100 votes isn't that many. Keep voting on this. But third of you bottoms in. God, yeah. I mean, I like it. I like it, man. I'm with you. I hope so. 65% between 40K and 60K. I mean, that's more reasonable. I like that we still have a fifth of us looking for 30 to 40. That's probably what I would vote for. Under 30, still 15%. So we aren't all in one side, at least. That means that 2/3 of us are looking for February's low to break. 1/5 is looking for almost 1/5 under 30. What are these lines, brother Vince? I was just making a point. I was making a point here that our sell-off on Bitcoin is becoming steeper and steeper. The sell-off is accelerating. It's not like a linear sell-off. We continue to reject, and each rejection is bringing a faster sell-off event. So people are saying like, oh, are we going to hit, I don't know, whatever price by whatever time. In a scenario like this, it's really hard to tell because things can just exponentially speed up. You can start seeing very, very big moves. Wouldn't be surprising. The last leg down was largely like that. Once support broke, it really just trucked downwards. And man, we are looking like that. No bueno. When Lambie? Oh man, 2021 Lambie. The floor is lava. 49K absolute bottom. All right, digital. Our digital content, I'll take it. Buy now for the bounce back, says Dem. All right, we do got some bulls. What's the trend line coming off 2022 low? BTC Amir, good to see you, man. I feel like you've been in this channel in years past, but maybe not recently. I went over this, but I need to repeat myself more often. I realize that the average person watches for like 10 minutes, and they don't. By 20, 30 minutes, almost the entire chat wasn't there for whatever I was talking about. If you would like this trend line on your chart, you can do it. Use your magnet tool so you can snap, take a trend line or array, whatever. It is July 16th, 2017. Woo. July 16th, 2027. God damn it, I keep saying 27. July 16th, 2017. Oh man, I'm getting more alerts. Dots breaking down. Oh, it's gonna be a day. I didn't even think I was gonna stream today. Okay. July 16th, 2017. Then connect it to the December 15th, 2018. That's it. That's the trend line. If you snap them and you're using the Coinbase chart, you'll have the exact same trend line that I have. Snap them, and here's what you'll find. You will find this trend line is beautiful. First of all, it's maybe the most beautiful trend line ever. It supported not only the 2020 COVID sell-off on the week, it did trade lower intra-week, but it settled back up on both occasions, back above the trend. So we can also say that this is in play. If we break this trend line this today or this week or this month or whatever, we can say that this is in play. Perhaps we trade below at wick and then close above. But it caught the 2020 crash. It also, because that would really not be that meaningful if it was just that. It also caught the 2022 bear market Pico bottom. The FTX collapse, everything, cascading liquidations. Just barely tapped it. That was the low. Never came back to that price. 15.4 right there on that trend line. So that trend line today has not been tested since the bear market in 22 in November. Has not been tested, but we are uncomfortably close. Way uncomfortably close. On the week, as it stands, it's about 65.3. If we zoom in, it's going to be a little bit lower, a little bit more precise. like 65.1, so it's like 65-ish. That brings us right here. You know, I'll make this a different color. The major, the God support line, our last hope, our only hope. It's right there. That's where it comes from. The descending trend here is from the all-time high to January's high. It's still possible that today, like, closes higher. So intraday that we move back up, bounce, close above, I don't know, like 68, 7, 60, 69. Nice. And close above this trend line, then there's a shot there. You know, you look for some kind of relief. There's a shot. Not hold my breath for that. That would hold the support. I'm not gonna hold my breath for that, but it's possible. But below price, we have some more confident things. The 200-week moving average is right here at 61.5. It's actually higher than February's low. Plenty decent spot to look for a bounce. Lots of algorithmic orders sit on that 200-week moving average. It has been for, I don't know, like 8 years or so, a pretty primo spot to look to add in a bear market, or like begin DCA or whatever, begin layering. It's not bad. Whew. I just got a scam message that says, "Hi, are you currently looking for work?" Maybe. I might be. McDonald's? Do you think they'll take me back? I hear that I was their best fry cook ever. Bro, Curve Finance is cooked. 𝐂𝐴𝐵𝐿 𝐿. Curve just broke February's low. Curve is now hitting a lower low versus February. Interesting, though, because Bitcoin's way underneath its February low, right? Wait. Or am I on drugs? I'm on drugs. Sorry. I'm not on drugs. Drugs are bad. Just had a brain fart there. Had a brain fart. It is now under its February low, and it really only has about 10% down until it reaches its all-time low at 18 cents. At least on Binance. There might be more history, but honestly, I don't care enough to look it up. In a scenario like this for Curve Finance, what do? If you're trying to play it, you look at the all-time low. You look at 18 cents. You look for some kind of sweep of that liquidity. And then a return, I don't know, like 24, 25. That's a very dangerous game, though. That is catching a knife in every respect. And that is maybe the definition of knife catching. We got more coming in. DOT hitting $1. Not having a good time out there in alt land today. DOT at all-time low right now. That's where the tweet. I hope none of you think I'm celebrating if you were big DOT fans and got wrecked. I'm not celebrating that, but certainly wrecked. Polkadot. I never touched that crap. I never endorsed that crap. I'm gonna tweet that out. That's a good tweet. Yikes. At all-time low, there's not that much you can do. Chart-wise, what makes sense to me is DOT is about a 9% move down to $1. Boom, there it is. You can look for a scalp just based on that. $1, likely going to find liquidity there in orders. Unlikely to, end the pain here, but likely to at least, I don't know, give you like a temporary bounce, maybe 10% bounce. Anything's possible. It could end up being a greater entry. But for now, I'll stick with that $1. We can use our fib tool the same way we use it to the upside. We can use it to the downside, and we can slap on, we'll say, the 1618, 82 cents. The measured move at 68, 1414, whatever, like 90 cents. There you go. And we can throw on things like that. DOT though is the knife. Yikes. Feels so bad. Not just DOT, because like, oh wait, I didn't even do that fib right. There are so many other charts and there are so many other coins just like this that people got burned on. And man, we just watched it all happen. Like I tried so hard throughout these years to get people on the Bitcoin train, and like They just had no interest in it. It wasn't sexy, it wasn't fun, wasn't going to get them rich. They didn't have enough money. And now what? They bought DOT at like $40, 30, $40, and it's heading for $1 now. Damn. It sucks. Yeah, I'm no stranger though. I can guarantee you my baby Litecoin is eating it today as well. I don't even want to look at it. And I'm the host of the show, so I can decide not to. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Yikes. Bitcoin's still dumping here. I guess that's just what we're doing today. Maybe we need some music. Some little wobbles in the background just to ease the pain. Bitcoin's still going down. Cheers, brothers. The captain always goes down with the ship. I've gone down with it before. I'll go down with it again. Let me know if that's too loud. Might be a little too loud. Bitcoin's losing to gold? Yeah, I bet it is. Can we do white screen, please? What? I'm not putting it on a white screen. No. No. Why do you want a white screen? TA, Bitcoin versus gold. Bitcoin versus gold. Although gold is also not doing great. Yeah, let me take a look. Sold everything when Bitcoin got to 80K. Nice. Awesome, my friend. Awesome. I'm happy for y'all. Happy for anyone who is not riding it down. Not going down with the ship as I am. I don't know, I'm not selling my Bitcoin now. I've round tripped this. I've round tripped this before. I'm all right. Bitcoin versus gold, definitely eating it, but honestly, not that worried. That's a really weak high. Obviously a lower high. I don't know. Something about this doesn't feel that bad to me. I really don't think it's gonna break this low. I don't think we're gonna see 2022's low break. Certainly, it looks like we're gonna retrace more than this. Definitely could see a sweep. Wouldn't be surprised to see a higher low though. That's not so scary. I thought it was gonna look much worse. Like much worse. Like, I don't know, Bitcoin versus Micron. Doom. Bitcoin hash rate? Oh, sure. We could pop on something like that. I can take a look at Solana then for you, Jason. No worries. At some point, selling is ridiculous. I mean, that is the game that you always have to gauge and play in this merry-go-round, right? If you want to sell, which I don't blame you. I'm not selling, but I don't blame you. If you want to sell, before you do, you should at least think, what price do you think it's going to go to? At least like measure out mentally what kind of opportunity there is. You know, if you think Bitcoin's only going to 60K, selling right now is probably not a great idea. I mean, you're looking for like a 10%, 10% discount. If you think it's going to 30K, then it makes more sense. First, kind of map out where you think it's going. Nobody knows, but just do this before you make a decision. Then, I think it makes sense to create like a plan. If you think it's going to a certain price, I think that if you do sell whatever you do, you should place the limit orders if you want to buy it back at those prices. Make the plan and have it executed. Because if you think you're going to do it in real time, I promise you won't. You won't be paying attention. It'll happen fast. All of my lowest fills and best, craziest fills have always been orders that were sitting in the books. God knows if anything crazy happens on Bitcoin, you can't even log into Coinbase, right? You're not going to be able to do these things. So think it through, then create a plan, and then entertain one more concept. Typically, this is going to be driven by like fear or emotion. It's not good, but that's how we do. In order to combat that a little bit, understand that you don't have to sell an entire position. You don't have to go all out. In fact, I virtually never think that going all in or all out is a good idea. If you're really scared, I don't know, maybe like you want to be out, you can't handle the pressure, can't handle more downside. Maybe you sell 75% of your position, maybe you sell 90% of your position, right? I think that you will regret it if you go all out. If you're all out, I think you'll end up regretting it at some point. And the regret might not be what you think. It might not be, buying back in or whatever. The regret might be, it just might be a lot more stressful. All of a sudden, you're all out, you have no exposure. If Bitcoin bounces tomorrow and just goes up a little bit, you're going to stress about it. You're going to think you made the wrong choice, at least for a little bit. Give yourself a break from that. Get away from it. If you're making an emotional decision, set yourself up to kind of remedy that by balancing your position, right? Maybe you do half of it. Maybe you do like whatever you do. Think it through. Think it through. That is my best advice. That's my best advice. When you die, you want me to scatter Bitcoins on you? Mr. Dinks, of course, brother. All over you. Head to toe. Head to toe, baby. Ooh. Actually, this is kind of spicy. Bitcoin versus SPX has not broken yet. But I'll be damned if it doesn't look like it could happen right now. It could happen today. Not like 0.5% till it breaks. I wonder what other indices what indices doing better? DJI maybe? Nope, not DJ. Nazi? No, not crypto cap. Oh well. Oof. Oh, okay. This might be a rounding error, but it also might not be a rounding error. Not a rounding error. Whoop. Versus NASDAQ, Bitcoin's getting nuked, and actually this gave us another example of these pairs being valuable. It gave us an early warning. May 27th. I did not see this. I failed you. I failed you guys. I honestly, I think I always do my best for you guys, but I actually do feel like I failed you guys a little bit here. I just didn't have an alert set, I guess. At the end of May, Bitcoin versus NASDAQ broke down from February's low. It's now trading lower, just free falling. Damn, yo. Really wish I would have seen this. Bitcoin versus SPX is at February's low. It's within 0.5%. Look at this chart. I feel like it's pretty reasonable to think that that pair is also going to fall. Damn. And there's like nothing. There's just like nothing to catch it. What are we doing here? It's decent. It's decent. It's like right around 618 now, right around April. Yeesh. Savage, dude. Absolute savage. Damn. We booming down, baby. We're down booming. Thoughts on 𝐂𝐚? We can look at gold in a minute here, my friend SNDK. I need you guys really quick. I haven't even said anything about this. I need you to right now tap the screen. Tippity tap it. Tippity tip tappity tip tap tip tip tap it. Did you just subscribe, follow, like, share, engage, vote in the poll? Say hi in the chat. I need you guys to engage with the live stream. I have no idea how long I've been live, but I haven't said a word about that the entire stream. Do it now. Been about an hour. Haven't even said one time to like the stream. You should like it just for that reason. Guy on YouTube isn't yelling about likes all the time. Do it. I appreciate you. How you doing, Craig? Pickle my mang. 54 minutes, yes. Here we go. Here we are. This is not a great sign. It's at the 618. Basically, we need to see Bitcoin rally. We need to see NASDAQ fall. And if we don't, I guess we're looking for more of a discount. 16%-ish. Let's triple check here. Yep, didn't change. Think Fed's gonna cut rates? No. Well, I don't know. Should the Fed cut rates based on the data that they have and that we have? No, they should not. Will the Fed cut rates? The Fed's independence has absolutely been threatened over the last year plus. I have no idea how Warsh is going to lead, how he's going to conduct the Fed. I have no idea what kind of influence even he has over the other Fed members. Anything's possible. But should interest rates be cut based on unemployment, based on inflation, and based on the bond market? No. No. No, we'd be closer to a hike than a cut. Bought some F. 1888. Nice. Man, everything is so wrecked. On 𝐂𝐻, gold 𝐂𝐻. Gold continues like a bear flag. It's weird. Really unfazed by everything, I guess. Just unreactive. Maybe back to being a store of value instead of being a moon rocket. You have some bullish divergence building on your weekly low for gold. See VWAP curling up, momentum maybe looking to reverse, maybe. Maybe not, maybe. Say no like real further signs of bleeding on gold yet. It did close its third month of red in a row, but I mean gold hit an extreme high. It repriced and now it's painted a bear flag. I think kind of while we're in that bear flag, there isn't really too much more analysis. It's like as long as you keep painting lower highs, so like under like 4,800, and as long as you have higher lows like above the 4,300, you're just in this bear flag and not a lot is happening. Volatility is being compressed. Your highs are coming down, your lows are coming up, and you're just looking to eventually make a move, right? I know that's unsatisfying, but no clear direction. Red velvet cake. Things will get better from October 7th on, probably. ZEC isn't wrecked, it's not wrecked. ZEC's not wrecked. I mean, actually, we should check back in on Hype, because Hype actually was at all-time high yesterday. Let's see ZEC. ZEC's not wrecked, no. No, it's not wrecked. The USD pair is kind of mids looking here. I do not like the retest. Damn, that long opened and closed. Let's go. I do not like the retest of 513. The retest begins to paint that potential head and shoulders. If I was to reopen this long on ZEC from like 513, I would look to stop it below the potential neckline, which would be like 480. Targeting 740 something. It's not wrecked. I don't like the retest. I don't like the equal lows there, but it's not getting nuked like most of the market is right now. Hype, dude, Hype is just continuing to blast highs, which is bonkers. Hype is literally right now putting in all-time highs against Bitcoin. In the moment. It's getting closer and closer to our first target, though. Or second target. 3.5% against Bitcoin. Its USD pair has stalled out. Basically a 0% change today. Or no, not today, this week. 2% up yesterday, 2% down today. Potentially looking at 64. 10% down. Bitcoin would have to trade more than 10% down-ish. Unless Hype made an even bigger move against Bitcoin. I still like, if I was gonna enter hype, I'd still like at 64. But dude, it continues to put on ground against Bitcoin. It's bonkers. Did anybody else find any others that are doing this? Bring me your gems. Any other coins putting in all-time highs against Bitcoin? Name one. I want to know. Love the dubstep. Hell yeah, Andrew. Got a little wubs here. Val was the ticket. Bitcoin just still drooping, man. Ooh. Get your shit together, Bitcoin. Man, this is how you know. Bitcoin is like, honestly, is getting wrecked. It's getting wrecked. And we have 400 people watching. A year ago, when nothing was happening, we'd have 1,200 people watching. They're all hitting all-time lows. And just like, there's nobody here. Sheesh. Hold your butts. I was trying to think Bitcoin's not a hedge, store of value or hedge against inflation. No, it never has been any of those things. It is, Bitcoin is its own unique thing. We call it a hedge against inflation or a store of value because those are just like that's the vocabulary we have. It's the words that we can like try to fit it into something, but it could be those things, but it is not those things. It is something entirely of its own. It is its own thing. It is something that has never existed before, and thus it is really difficult to describe it. You don't really have the words for it. If you wanted to compare Bitcoin to something, the thing it is most similar to would be like torrents, like torrenting, pirating videos and stuff. It's like a network. It's a decentralized network. It's like nothing specific. Let's go, corn. Bounce it. Bouncy bounces. Someone asked a while ago about hash rate. Let me look at hash rate. Man, yeah, we look at hash rate in Bitcoin. It's like getting harder to even find this. It's kind of scary. Oh wait, no, it's not scary. Never mind. Hash rate peaked right after price. It's been trending down since. That is remarkably similar to what happened in the last bull market. Peaked a little bit after, well, close enough. Peaked a little bit after price, traded down. Actually, that began climbing back up into the, that's wild. Hash rate's really just like correcting. Nothing we haven't seen before. I think the hash rate correction could be somewhat influenced this time by data centers, by AI. Other compute demand can influence that. Could make it look a little different than the other cycles. We'll see. Go, Bitcoin, go. You can do it. You can do it, Bitcoin. Crypto is crashing. It's so crashing. Everybody's live, baby. It's crashing. It's not the first time. It's not the last time. If this is your first crash, I'm sorry. Sorry for you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeesh. You know, bounces right now are it's like when you're sick, it's like a fart. Don't trust the farts. Don't trust them. Do not trust the farts right now. Don't do it. Man. What else is going? Let's take a look at the bigger gainers. The lab is up, whatever that is. Yeah, just at 6 billion. Only in crypto, man. $6 billion market cap, whatever that is. Meme core is up. Sure, 𝐒𝐻 is up on the day. Internet computer is up. Hondo is up. Humanity. What's the biggest loss today? XLM, Stellar. Aptos. Wow, I remember when people were all crazy about this. Not even a $1 billion market cap anymore. Ton coin down. Monero, my baby Monero is down. Oh, wow. Like I was saying earlier about DOT. So many people got into crypto and bought like whatever people were like just shilling them at the time, and they're just like, it sucks that they learned that's what crypto is. Like all of the hope and like all of the things that they like were told these different projects were, it's like what Bitcoin is. It's like, but these people got their hooks in them. So Aptos is not at all-time low, but it certainly looks like it wants to go there. It's at 85 cents. It's all-time low in October. Binance was 74 cents. Does not look good. Yeah, I'll commiserate with you all. I mean, obviously my bag is down. All my shit's down. My whole career is down. I'll commiserate with you here. Litecoin, my baby, getting riggedy wrecked. Riggedy wrecked. Looking for a death cross on the week right above price. Litecoin trading at $47. Roughly, I feel like that was like the price I bought it at when I started. Like 10 years ago. Woohoo. See, I'm right there with you, boys. Looking at that low from February, down at 45. God, if it loses 45, like it goes to 40, and then what? I hope that doesn't happen. That's what. My lord, he's chunky. Chunky. You can join our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. You should do that right now. Join it right now. Do it. Discord.gg/TomCrown. Do it. Oh no, I accidentally closed the music. I actually didn't mean to do that. Maybe it's a sign. It's probably a sign. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to end the stream for now. We're going to be live again tomorrow morning. We may be live again tonight. We didn't expect to go live today. We'll find out. Join me in the Discord. Sign up with our exchange partners, BYD, find FEMX links in the video description below and in the Discord. And if you use those links, you will get into the VIP rooms in our Discord, and you will be my best friend, and I'll invite you to my birthday. Stay strong, my friends. This isn't our first rodeo. Everything's going to be okay. Whatever decision you decide to make sure it's the right one for you. Keep in mind, all in and all out are hardly ever the successful strategy. Whatever you do, try to make a plan. Try to think about it, rationalize it first. If you're feeling motivated by fear or greed, maybe take a moment, go do something else, take a walk, get your mind off of it, come back and see if you're still feeling that way, then make the choice. I wish you all the best. We're going to be here